Good evening. So I want to make a quick breakdown for today, April 28th, price action. So this is what I was having for my expectations, my first session analysis. Where is it? So top-down analysis, and then for Tuesday, this is what I was expecting. Yeah, a moment, it's now loading. So we had tested this proportion block, right, on the daily time frame, and then we have this CRT. So my draw on liquidity is this daily CRT low, right, and then we also have this relative equal lows over here. So that's what I was targeting, and then I was looking for price to test this this order block. So we have a page, and then we dump lower, right? So this was my expectations, and then I was actually glued to it that I was only expecting sales, right? But this is what happened. So on the 4-hour time frame, we have this fair value gap, right, and then this fair value gap was never mitigated. So if we say never mitigated, it means that price never tested this fair value gap, right? So here is it. So this candle did dug into this fair value gap, and then we had this candle take the range low, so that is the CRT low, right? So the key level here is this fair value gap, and then we have a CRT, and then when we go to the XY, we had this candle taking this highs, this highs, and this highs over here, even this high as well, and then price closed below it. So this one becomes an order block, right? And then we also have a CRT, and then it was purged, and then it's dumped lower to actually complete this 4-hour CRT. So one thing is that actually I think when you make a pre-session analysis, you kind of have to be adaptive when price is showing something else. Honestly, I didn't expect something like this, because I thought we have had a case of death, and then price has to just go lower, and it didn't give us that. And honestly, I didn't even have this in mind, like pay attention to this CRT, right? So this is what it actually happened, and sometimes we have to actually look at what price is saying, and then sometimes forget about your pre-session analysis. It's quite a hard time, but then I'm trying to still organize data, get data. So I have even journaled this down for today. So actually I missed yesterday's trade, and then I also missed today's trade, right? And then over here I've journaled everything down, and then my expectation. So like when price has tested a key level on the XY and has given a CRT, and also if price has tested a 4-hour key level on the traded assets pair with a CRT, like I think I just have to ignore my bias, and then my bias for the pre-session analysis, right? So this was how I would have framed my entry. So over here we have this candle range, and then this C2 candle to purge the range, and then candle 3, right? So over here, taking this range, let me see, I most often used to do something like this. Let me move this one here to 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Okay, so yes, this is it. So this is one range, one 4-hour candle, right? and then this range was purged by this candle in the next range, right? This candle. So then when price closed above this candle over here with the 8:30 a.m. candle, and then it's tested at what 9:15, and then the objective is to just target 3 hour and then you are done. So just put it at the high of the other block over here, and then you have your low here below the other block, and then we target 3 hour. So 3 hour, right? And then when price delivered 3 hour, then it's now starting to increase. So I mean, that is it. At first I would have been mad at this, but actually now that I am journaling and then taking notes of everything, and let me show you one thing I avoided. I know some people took this trade and then took a loss. So over here we had this fair value gap that you see, right? So we had this fair value gap, but then I was not convinced because we haven't had any CRT on the XY yet, right? Like bullish CRT to give bearishness on Euro USD. So some people would have said oh, okay, fine, so let me take this range, let me take this candle as my range high, right? And then let's go to the 15 minutes and let's see what's happened on the 15 minutes. So on the 15 minutes, this is the high of the 5 a.m. candle, right? So the high, and then this particular candle purged the 9 a.m. the 5 a.m. candle high, right? This candle, this 9:30 a.m. candle, and then we had a closed below it. So they would have most of other people would have taken this as an order block confirmation, and then had entered once it's tested with the high over here. The open on this candle. But then one thing I figured out was that, you see, it is almost time for a new candle to form on 6E. So 6E is Euro futures. The Euro futures is what controls what Euro is going to do, right? So over here, I was waiting for the 10 a.m. candle, the 10 a.m. open to purge this high again. Then if we have a confirmation in the form of order block, then I will enter, right? But then if they don't give us that, and then later sorry, when I did the analysis again, then I figured out, oh no, actually today the bias for the day is actually bullish and not lower. So that was all for today, and then I'm hoping tomorrow is going to be better.